accomplishments. Dr. Bill Sears, or Dr. Bill, as his little patients call him, has been advising busy parents on how to raise healthier families for over 40 years. He has received his medical training at Harvard Medical School's Children's Hospital in Boston and the Hospital for Sick Children in Toronto, the world's largest children's hospital. He was the Associate Ward Chief of the Newborn Intensive Care Unit before serving as Chief of Pediatrics in Toronto Western Hospital, a teaching hospital of the University of Toronto. He has served as a professor of pediatrics at the University of Toronto, the University of South Carolina, the University of Southern California School of Medicine, and the University of California, Irvine. As a father of 8 children, he knows a little about what he's talking about besides the doctor bit. He has coached Little League sports for 20 years. He and his wife Martha has written over 40 best-selling books, countless of articles on nutrition, parenting, magazine, TV, radio, and other media. His AskDrSears.com website is one of the most popular health and parenting sites out there. Dr. Sears has appeared on over 100 television programs, including 2020, Good Morning America, Oprah, Today, The View, Dr. Phil, and was featured on the cover of Time magazine in May of 2012. He is noted for his science-made simple and fun approach to family and health, and I'd like to welcome up Dr. Bill Sears. I'm sorry, before I had to do all of that, there's one other thing. We have another healthy talk by John Blair. And it's coming up in 2 weeks. There'll be flyers like this available at the registration table. You can pick one up on the way out. That is May 19th. And if you'd like to know more about the product that Dr. Sears is going to be talking about tonight, this is the man who actually brought this product to the company, and he's going to be available on May 19th. So come up to the Portland area for that.
John's a great speaker.
Yes, he is.
Oh, thank you so much. As we were driving through all the mountains and the plains and the cattle and the sheep, it reminded me where I grew up. I married a farmer's daughter. We grew up in the Midwest. And wow, you all are so blessed to live here. What a fabulous place to live. Now, tonight I've been in, this is my 50th year as a pediatrician. Now, after you've been working with kids for a long time, and you have a lot of kids, you begin to think like a child, talk like a child, and my wife says sometimes act like a child. So tonight you get the kids version. You know, it's Friday night, you're all tired, so you're going to get the fun and simple version of the most difficult organ to talk about. Wow, the brain. When Elena says, would you talk about the brain? Oh man, yes. But it's the most difficult, so we're going to make it fun. Now, if I come across too passionate tonight, it's because 20 years ago I did not do what you're going to hear tonight. And I almost died. Okay. Now, this is a talk for all ages. And I'm happy to report at the age of 77, young age of 77, I have the goal of every senior citizen. Everything works and nothing hurts. So that is my goal for you tonight, especially in brain health. Now, I want to start with a little personal revelation about the brain. I have been in therapy myself for many, many years, but I happen to report I'm in recovery. So I'd like you to meet my therapist, please. Now, my therapist, Martha, of 50 years. Now, then is the next one. I'd also like to report that my sessions, shall we call them, with my therapist have been very productive. Now, get that? After one of my talks, some of the men came up and said, you know, we've never heard it called sessions before. I said, whatever it takes to get you guys to pay attention. Next one. Now, my therapist, we just celebrated our 50th wedding anniversary. This was me. This was me before therapy. This is me after therapy. The gray hairs come with 8 children, but I think you all parents can relate that. So, all right, let's talk about the brain. Now, one of the things my dear wife said to me when I got sick, you know, doctors marry nurses because we live longer. And so when I got sick, I came home from the hospital one night, sat down, and she said to me the 3 magic words that changed my life and the reason I'm here tonight. And that was, just take it. At that time, I wasn't eating very well. And my doctor at that time said, you gotta go home, you have to eat 10 fistfuls of fruits and vegetables every day. I said, man, I can't eat that much. So my nurse, Martha, my therapist, does some research online, and she found the #1 fruit and vegetable supplement in the world. And I come home, I'm sitting at the dinner table, and she looks at me with this, you men can relate to this. When a woman looks at you with that disarming, feminine look, that just melts you, and you just want to say, yes, dear, whatever you say. She said, just take it. So I started taking it, but I needed to research it. And I found out that this is the only fruit and vegetable and berry supplement in the world that has any solid research behind it. And I'm going to show me the science person, especially when you're talking about kids. You really need to be backed up with science. So that's when I became a medical advisor for the Juice Plus company, and been giving talks like this ever since for the past over 15 years. Where someone will come up and say, can you give a talk? We have a family up here. How many here take Juice Plus? Oh my goodness, whoa. All right, those who don't, pay attention to those who do. And I want to say those who aren't, you will by the end of, welcome to the family. We help each other grow medically. So medically, we're the best health club in the world. Socially, we're a great social club, and financially. And I added that because, at least in Southern California, financial stress is a big brain problem. So we help each other grow financially. So that's a little bit of the background. And the next thing that got me into the brain was the birth of child number 7, Stephen. We number our children. We have so many you can't count. So number seven came into the world differently abled, not disabled. Please remember that. He had different chromosomes. He had Down syndrome. Now we realized that Stephen had a different brain. So we had to change our brain to match Stephen's. Wow, what a learning experience this child brought to us. There's Stephen. He is a master golfer, written up in Golf Magazine. There he is hitting a home run. I've been his coach for 20 years. He's hitting a home run, Special Olympics baseball. There he is with his girlfriend in the dugout. There he is going to the prom, where his girlfriend, Gina, also with Down syndrome, straightens his tie and keeps him from looking so scruffy. You know, so, sometimes a differently abled child can bring out the best in our brains to get us out of ourselves and to change our brain. Wow. Next thing. Now, after Stephen, the next big breakthrough in the brain was technology. Wow. Once upon a time, you had an old brain problem. You go to the doctor and he said, well, I think it's this. let's try this. I think it's this. Technology has taken all the guesswork out of it. Wow. So follow my little arrow now. All right, this is what we call a brain scan, a picture of the brain. This is a patient who had a bunch of Ds, depression, OCD, BPD, all those Ds, ADD, ADHD. And this is a picture right here of his SAD center, we called it, the size of a quarter. Pretty big. 6 weeks after what we call think changing the brain. Used to be called cognitive behavioral therapy, big word. Think changing the brain. No, think this, not that. Think happy thoughts, not unhappy thoughts. Think changing the brain. 6 weeks. He shrank, maybe that's where the word shrink comes from, but he shrank his SAD center from the size of a quarter to the size of a dime. Bingo. That opened the whole world of brain health to show that how we think, we can actually change the structure of our brain. Wow. Fascinating stuff go on. Okay? All right, now, mommy brain. How many here have babies or parents or who had babies? Oh, a lot. Good for you. So that's why I still practice pediatrics. There is nothing in the world like the face of a little baby looking at you. You know, you ever know how babies talk to you with their eyes? Just love it. Right. So, but when mommy's coming to, you know, you used to read this. Mommy brain was kind of a derogatory term. You know, you lose your car keys, you miss your appointment, you forget things. No. Mommy brain is real. When a woman grows a human being inside of her, which I think is the greatest accomplishment on earth, she actually grows a center in her brain. And that center is like a radar system. Tuned in the baby. That term, overprotective mother, which is also a wrong term, is real. It's there for a reason. Do daddies have daddy brain? Yeah. Takes a little longer to develop. and you see the difference between the male and female brain when the toddler goes out to the monkey bars for the first time in the playground. Mommy brain says, honey, be careful. Daddy says, climb higher. That's just the way they are. Mommy brain, daddy brain. It's there for a reason. Wow. Okay. Once upon a time, the doctors would get together every year and they would vote on what is the sickest organ of the body. And the heart always won. Except last year, for the first time in history, the brain is now sicker than the heart. Cerebrovascular diseases are now more common than cardiovascular diseases, which is, I think, one of the reasons I was asked to talk about the brain tonight. So with that background, let's imagine that you go home and you think, gosh, I've got a lot of stuff. We call it stuff in our family, brain stuff. The D's, ADD, ADHD, OCD, D, all that stuff. We have a lot of stuff in our family. So you sit down and you go online and you find the top doc in the whole world for your family full of D's. And you hop on a plane, you go visit top doc. And you go into her office and you say, doctor, I need some help. I want the best medicine in the world for my family full of brain problems, stuff. Now, doctor, I'm a show me the science type of person. I don't want that stuff that doesn't have any science behind it, that flaky stuff. Nor do I want all that stuff that has all these side effects. I want good, solid, science-based medicine that makes us feel good. All right? So, top doc gets out her pen, scribbles a prescription on her pad, for the #1 medicine in the world for happy, healthier brains for all ages. Want to guess what that is? Dr. Mom said it. Eat more fruits, veggies, and seafood, and go outside and play. That's it. There is more science. I see a surprised look on some of your faces. Because this is not a prescription. Mom was right. In fact, we got a little sign on in our home. Mom is right all the time. Takes a while for them to learn that. Anyway, now there is more science behind what Dr. Mom just said than any medicine ever developed in a pharmaceutical laboratory. Now, that's what we're going to talk about tonight. What is it about Dr. Mom's smart statement about fruits and veggies and seafood and going outside and play? Those magic words or your brain medicine that you're all going to leave here tonight. Now, I promise you, everyone here will leave tonight hearing something they never heard before. And my wish is that what you hear tonight will change your life. You're going to hear a Nobel Prize winning breakthrough in medicine in a few minutes. You're going to see pictures that I want you to make mental pictures of and replay them tonight before you go to bed. To leave here with that feeling, wow, I am going to think change my brain. I'm going to eat change my brain. I'm going to move change my brain. And if you do that, I'd love to hear from you. Because what we doctors call this the helper's high. That's what keeps me in practice for 50 years. Helper's high is that wonderful feeling you get by something you did, something you said, some picture you showed, changes a person's life for the better. And they live happier, healthier because of something you did. That's the great feeling I'm going to hop on the plane tomorrow and feel, even if a few of you just have that. So if you got that tonight, drop me a line. Elena will give you my email. Okay, so with that background, let's go follow what Dr. Mom's like. Okay, now, what is it about the brain that Dr. Mom said, eat more fruits and veggies and go outside and play? There's something special about the brain. The brain is made of, mostly, a little three-letter word, fat. How do you remember that? We are all fatheads. The brain is 60% fat. Now, what is it about fat that makes it so prone to disease? So I'm going to use a local example because you get good salmon here in Oregon. So suppose you have a fresh piece of salmon you just caught, and you forget to leave it out, it's sitting out on the sink overnight instead of putting it in the fridge. And you smell it in the morning. Stinks. That's called oxidation. Oxidizes. Fat oxidizes. Fat rusts. Rusts is another word for oxidize. It just turns bad. So, to keep a organ that's full of fat that oxidizes quickly, like that piece of fish, what do you need to feed it? Antioxidants. What are the richest sources of antioxidants? Fruits, veggies, and seafood. Bingo. Dr. Mom was right. Okay? So this is why the brain says, I love fruits and veggies. I love fruits and veggie supplements. Okay? It keeps me from oxidizing. It keeps the fat from rusting. Okay. Now, next, please. Right? All right, so I want to take you inside the brain for a minute. Your brain is the greatest garden ever grown. What do you need to grow a garden? So in every one of us, we have 100 billion plants in our garden. We call them nerves. This is a plant. This is that little plant there, called a nerve cell. 100 billion. Now, each one of those 100 billion connect with other nerves by biochemical text messaging with 10,000 others. So each one of those nerves has about 10,000 Facebook friends. Really? And that's how you grow your neural network, or your social network in your brain. Right now, you'll all leave here tonight, probably have made about 100,000 biochemical connections in your brain that you didn't enter the door with. That's how we learn and remember. That's the garden. Now, what do you need to grow a garden? You need to feed and fertilize it and water it. You need to keep the pests out. And that's what we're going to start with first. How do we water and feed our brain garden to keep this little fat head growing? Okay. Next, Danny. All right. All right, now, let's water the brain. Let's feed and fertilize the brain. And I'm going to start with revealing to you a Nobel Prize winning discovery that many of you probably don't know. All right, suppose you were designing the brain, or the body, the human body. Let's say you were the great designer of the human body. And you knew that down the road, humans are going to mess up their body. Right? You knew that we're going to do dumb things for our brain and our body. So, what would you do to protect us? You would put inside the body a pharmacy, a natural pharmacy, that would continuously, 24/7, spew out medicines to heal you. All right? Every one of you has that pharmacy inside. So you're a giant walking pharmacy. So if someone asks you tomorrow, what did you learn tonight? I learned I have a big drugstore inside of me. And I am a giant walking pharmacy. You know. All right, now suppose you're designing the body. Where would you put that pharmacy? Remember, you want to get the drugs, you want to get the medicines into your body quickest to have the quickest effect and to deliver all over your body. And what is the fastest way to deliver medicine? Through the bloodstream. Medicine 101, you learned this the first day of medical school. Every organ in the body is only as healthy as the blood vessels supplying it. Make sense? So, if you were the great designer of the pharmacy, where would you put the pharmacy? The lining of the blood vessels. All right. This is what won a Nobel Prize. Opened up the whole field of medicine. So when your doctor says, Joe, you got to take care of yourself, what they're really saying is, Joe, you got to open your pharmacy, man. You're closed. So for a minute now, I want you all to get a mental picture of this slide. So look at it real carefully. Artery of a healthy person, say from Eugene, Portland. Artery from not so healthy person, Los Angeles? Okay, that's safe. All right. Now, you got that memorized? When you go home tonight, before you go to bed, replay that. All right, so let's go into the artery of a healthy person. The artery of a healthy person is doing everything Dr. Mom said to do. Eat your fruits and veggies and go outside and play. And notice the lining of the it eats all the good stuff. The lining of the blood vessels, I call it the silver lining. The medical term is endothelium, silver lining, are trillions of these microscopic medicine bodies. Now, do they look like that? No, they look like little squirt glands. They're like glands, like squirt bottles. So you picture, you have trillions of little squirt bottles lining your arteries. Just like that. All right? Now, What medicines do they make? Medicines that lower the highs.
Nitric oxide.
Pardon?
Nitric oxide.
Nitric oxide, good for you. Nitric oxide is the bottle opener, the gas. All right, since you mentioned that, I'll tell you how biochemists talk about it so you remember it. Sometimes you have to get a little crude to remember things. They say that the medicine bottles pass gas. That's basically what they do. That's those little things right there. That's a gas called nitric oxide. Right. That's the first time I thought anybody's ever raised their hand. Good for you. That's a smart group here. Anyway, so medicine bottles. What do they make? Medicines that lower the highs, high blood pressure, high blood cholesterol, high blood sugar. Medicines that raise the lows, antidepressants. Medicines that mellow the mood, anti-anxiety. Medicines that heal the hurt, anti-inflammatories. Medicines that keep your blood from overclotting, anticoagulants. You make them, and what you make is better than what you take because they're custom made just for you. Coming out at the right time, the right dose, no side effects. And they're free. Insurance loves them. Okay? So wow, you make your own medicine. So basically, a healthy person has open medicine bottles, a wide open artery like that. Pharmacy open, health and wellness. Simple as that. However, we doctors spent our days with this person. This person, pharmacy closed. Narrow blood vessels, sluggish blood cells. This person suffers from a new disease in the medical dictionary, the sitting disease. There actually is a term now. This person sits all day and puts sticky stuff in its mouth. Now, sticky stuff is my own little invention of a pediatrician's word for all these things that your doctor measures, called markers: oxidized cholesterol, homocysteine, all these big words of chemicals that stick to the lining of your blood vessels because of the sticky stuff you put in your mouth. Easy way to remember that: you put sticky stuff in your mouth, you get sticky stuff on top of your medicine bottles. Pharmacy closed. Pharmacy open, pharmacy closed. Sickness, wellness. Sickness, wellness. Basically, which one do you want? Now, the reason this is so important to the brain is the brain is one of the most vascular organs of the body. It uses about 20 to 25% of all the blood flow of our whole body. It weighs about 1 or 2% of the weight. So, the healthier the blood vessels, the healthier your brain garden. As simple as that. So that's why you put sticky stuff in your mouth and you sit too much and you get a pharmacy like that. Bingo. So is that registering? Yes, that in? All right, now, what does these little sticky stuff look like? Cotton balls in your arteries. I don't think you want that in your brain arteries. Next. Okay, now, I was giving this talk last year in Nashville, and I must have had a little brain thing because I thought it was a talk to adults, like you all tonight. It was a talk to kids. I walk in there and 150 kids sitting down like this, and the parents are out there. Okay, I need a little change. So I said, okay. So I couldn't change the slide. So I said, we're gonna have a visit to Veggie Land. You know, the Nashville's the music capital of the world. So visit to Veggie Land. And so we talked about you put sticky stuff in your mouth and your medicine bottles closed and all that stuff. Now I see all these kids on the floor drawing, and I thought, well, kids, when they're bored, they draw. Annabelle, 10 years of age, comes up to me afterward, hands me this diagram, and she says, Dr. Sears, I will always remember the sticky stuff on the lids of my medicine bottle. And one of the biochemicals that the medicine bottles make for the brain is called VEGF, vascular endothelial growth factor. It's called fertilizer, basically. We fertilize our brain when we move and we eat right. So she says to me, I will always remember veg. 10 years of age. Remembering, I want to make more veg to have a happier brain, a smarter brain. When I put sticky stuff in my mouth, my veg doesn't come out. When I sit too much, my veg doesn't come out. Man, I thought, these kids get it. Wow. So next day I get a call from a different mom. And she said, you know, Dr. Bill, you'll like this story. So the kids went home, liked your talk. I didn't know how much they remembered. So my husband took us out that night to a fast food joint. Let's call it Sticky's Burgers. And we're pulling into Sticky's Burgers. My 6-year-old, 6 now, any school teachers here, 6. The 6-year-old scolds Daddy. Says, Daddy, we can't put that sticky stuff in our mouth. We'll get sticky stuff on top of our medicine bottles, and our veg won't come out to fertilize our brain. Can you imagine a father sitting there? Where on earth did you get it? Man, kids get it. Get them in, school teachers, moms and dads, grandmothers, get them inside their body. Get them inside the most beautiful, beautiful, beautiful they ever made was our body and our brain. We've got to take care of it. Okay, so visit Vegeland, all of that. Okay, Danny. Now, this is an artery, actually a real artery, a diagram of an artery of a patient of mine, a dear friend, Scott. 54 years of age, didn't awaken one morning. His wife kept saying, you know, Scott, you need to get a checkup. I feel fine. I feel fine. Well, we all come into the world. I feel fine. Wow. I feel fine. Smooth artery, no sticky stuff. Then we go to school. Then we go to the burger joint. And we start building up sticky stuff. But the great designer knew we were going to do that. So we got plenty of room in the arteries. As blood flows, you put the sticky stuff, no problem. Feel fine. 20, 30, still feel fine. The 20 to 30-year-olds, they can do anything, take care of it. No. Then, around 40 years of age, sticky stuff, sticky stuff, sticky stuff. You don't feel fine anymore, and sometimes you just quit feeling. That is the natural history of many patients we doctors see. And this is why we're passionate about giving talks like this, to keep you down here. To keep the sticky stuff out of your mouth, so you keep the sticky stuff off your arteries. As simple as that. As the little 6-year-old says, Daddy, you can't put that sticky stuff in your mouth. And I wish we had kids here tonight, because I usually call kids up and have them, I ask them what happens when you put sticky stuff in your mouth. And we have a bunch of kids. They give the fantastic, you're better than I can say. All right, next, Danny. Okay, now, why did Dr. Mom say, eat more fruits and veggies and go outside and play? And Danny, could we go back a couple? Go back one more, please. One more? Thank you. All right. Why did Dr. Mom say, go outside and play? What is it about movement that opens your pharmacy? And this is actually what won the Nobel Prize. So, when you move, any movement, any vigorous movement, like this guy's doing here, the blood flows faster over the tops of the medicine bottles and sends a text message to this gas down there, nitric oxide, that says, hey, open the medicine bottles, I'm moving here. And that's That is why when your doctor says, Joe, you got to exercise more, that's exactly what's going on. The more you move, the faster your blood flows over the tops of the medicine bottles, and you open your pharmacy. So that's why Dr. Mom said, go outside and play. All right, now, I'm going to kind of demonstrate now what I believe is the #1 exercise for the brain. Okay. Anybody want to guess what it is? The #1 movement and exercise for the brain. Now, I need a partner to do this. Jackie? All right, let's see if we can get the technology to work here. And the #1 exercise for the brain. You all can take a deep breath now. Yeah, right. So, you want to have some fun tomorrow? So you're out walking with the thing. This is why when somebody asks me why I do these talks like this, well, I get my picture taken with beautiful ladies. I get hugs with beautiful ladies. I get to dance occasionally. So it's great fun. Anyway, somebody wants to ask you tomorrow, say you're taking a walk with a bunch of friends. You're out taking a walk, you're walking rather fast, and you say real loudly, oh, it feels so good to be opening my medicine bottles. I'm opening my pharmacy. I'm fertilizing my brain garden. And they'll look at you, you went to the winery last night, huh? But this is actually what happens when we move. Wow. So Dr. Mom was right. Go outside and play. We're going to see later why she mentioned outside. Okay, so let's go to the, keep going on that. There we go, one more. Yeah, movement. Now, in fact, what they've done, they've measured, they've taken two groups of people, sitters. I wonder how long it would take. and when they wired up sitters and movers, they found that movers have larger brains. Makes sense because they're fertilizing the brain garden with veg. All right. Now, schools. Those of you who have grandchildren, children, you've heard about the program No Child Left Behind. I want to rephrase that, No Child Left on Their Behind. Once they took recess out of school, the Ritalin dosage went up. Any correlation? I think so. So let me take you back about 65 years to my 4th grade teacher, Sister Mary Ursula. Ursula means little bear in Latin. Little bear had my number. So there I am, fidgeting, classic ADHD. It wasn't invented yet though. So I'm staring out the window because I want to be out the window. And I want to pay attention. So every day at 11 o'clock and 2 o'clock, little bear would come, grab me very sternly by the shoulder, which teachers could do then, and say, Billy, you're fidgeting again. Go outside, run around the schoolyard 3 times, come back and sit still. That was my Ritalin. Worked like a charm. Now we know. What does movement do to the brain? Veg. Calming neurochemicals. What Sister Mars was saying, you go outside, make your own medicines, calm your brain, come back and sit still and pay attention. Now, as of 2 years ago, what is the new treatment now for ADD, ADHD? They have the kids come to school a half hour early, they call it 0 period, and run around the schoolyard. Yeah. And they found that many could come off their medicines, their grades went up, because they were fertilizing their brain. Wow. See, some of these very basic principles we're coming back to. So it's an exciting time. It's an exciting age we live in because technology allows us to measure these things. Right? Okay. Now, we changed the word. We don't use the term ADD, ADHD anymore because most of the time it's nutrition deficit disorder, NDD, or movement deficit disorder. I use this probably every day when a child comes in. Oh, what brings you into the office? Well, the teacher thinks Johnny has ADD. What do you have for breakfast? Well, Pop-Tarts and Fruit Loops. How much time does he spend in the videos? About 3 hours a day. So I said, there's the diagnosis right there. NDD, MDD. Bingo. So, in summary, the old treatment for ADD was, oh, ADD here, take this, next. No. The new treatment is, ADD is a difference, it's not a disorder. Some children are born with different brains. They are wired differently. They think outside the box. Given proper education, good nutrition, good counseling, good school match, they learn to grow up and build better boxes. They're inventors, they're creators. So you got to be very careful. You don't want to change their brain, you want to channel it. That's the difference. So the whole new treatment now a new treatment, move, feed, match, and fourthly, medicate. So the whole field of ADD is now changing. Next. Okay, back to the kids. Now, why did Dr. Mom say, go outside and play? We're driving over here, and I couldn't take my eyes off the hills and the sunshine on the hills, up and down like that. And, oh, man, talk about a calming effect for the brain. All right, well, what is it about going outside and play? There's a whole new science called the neuroscience of nature. Fabulous book, Dr. Eva Selhood, a Japanese neurologist up at Harvard. And I learned this over in Japan 3 years ago. When you give a talk in Asia, they're long. And you are exhausted at the end. So at 4 o'clock, our host, Mrs. Saginishi, says, I know you, Mrs. Sears, are tired. We're going to take you both out for some Shinrin Yoku, which I thought was a drink. Okay. Now, so we get this, and I was really mentally exhausted. And we get in this car, and we get in the car, and we drive up the mountain. We get to the top of the mountain, and we take a walk through the forest. Shinrin Yoku is Japanese for forest bathing. That's how they relax their brain. Take a deep breath, the forest air, the trees, the scenery. Talk about a calming effect. Get back in the car after about 45 minutes. Wonderful feeling. Outside and play. You have that here in Oregon, so I'm not going to spend a lot of time on that. But there is go outside and play. You know, that's why with the kids now spending too much time indoors behind screens of artificial light, which is not really good for the brain. Go outside and play. Okay, now, real quickly, all these things happen when you go outside. This is why offices have windows. This is why people are now having standing desks with their computers facing a window. They discovered this in Japan when they took a hospital and they put half of the hospital face the beds toward the window and the other half didn't. The half whose beds faced the window left the hospital sooner and healed quicker. The healing effects of the colors and movement in nature. Wow. Go outside and play. All these things. All these things. Wow. And again, I call it EYE, I feel good. Go outside and play. Okay, guys, we're good. All right, now, now we're going to end now with, now we talked about movement for the brain, growing our brain garden, fertilizing our brain garden, now feeding our brain garden. Smart foods. Smart foods. Okay. Now, I have the feeling that you all are a lot smarter up here in Oregon than many other states because you get real beef, real grass-fed beef, real 100% grass-fed yogurt and cheese, wild salmon, the top brain food, which you're going to see. Wow. So I'm going to maybe skim through this a little bit, but smart food. Next, first of all, salads with spices. Wow. Salads. Antioxidants. Brain is fat, fathead. Salads with spices, full of antioxidants. Top spices for the brain. Number 1, turmeric. Turmeric. Little turmeric tip. Sprinkle turmeric with black pepper. They're called partners. They're called synergy. Synergy is a medical term for when you put two together, it's like 4 or 5. Pepper helps the turmeric be absorbed better. So every time I have a salad, I have a little bottle of black pepper, pepper grinder, and a turmeric shaker. Turmeric and black pepper. Salads and spices. Wow. Next would be snacking. All right. The brain and the gut. You've heard the term gut brain. All right. Now the gut is called medically the second brain. And the reason is most of our happy hormones, we used to think they were made in the brain. They're not. They're made in the gut. So don't be surprised if you have one of the D's or go into a brain doctor and they start asking you about your gut and your eating habits. The gut brain. Now, the reason is, I'm going to make this very quick because it's very new and complicated. You will hear the term microbiome. Microbiome is a medical term for gut bugs. The bacteria that live in our gut. The trillions of bacteria. Little tiny bacteria that set up camp in our guts. And in return for free food and a warm place to live, they do good things for our bodies. They make medicine. So don't be alarmed if you go into your doctor for a checkup or some pains in the gut or in the head or something, and they say, well, tell me, Susie, how's your microbiome? My what? Yeah. Because now we know the better you feed these gut bugs, the better you feed the gut brain, the better the head brain reacts. Because there are text messages constantly being sent, biochemical text messages between the gut brain, head brain, gut brain, head brain, constantly, thousands, millions of times a day. So the better you are to your gut, the better you are to your head brain. Now, why does the gut like snacking? Well, one, the microbiome lives on your leftovers. Take a piece of celery, take a piece of asparagus, You chew and chew and chew and chew, and you digest a little, and all that sticky fiber stuff goes down in the lower gut, and the microbiome has a feast on it. That's why Mom said, eat more chewy stuff. Fiber is good for the gut bug. Now, very easy way to remember snacking. I call it Dr. Bill's rule of twos. Eat twice as often, eat half as much, and chew twice as long. I have a big sign in my office that shows the kids, the longer you chew, the better for you. And I have a little gut bug, a little smile saying, you chew, the better you chew up there, the better I have down here. All right? Now, it's an adult crowd. So, pains in the gut, constipation problems are big in pediatrics. So I've got this microbiome, and I have a little white coat on the bug, and it's Dr. Pooh. And Dr. Pooh has a big saying that says, the longer you chew, the softer you poop. the kids remember that. And the mom said, you know, and I'll come back and says, man, all the stuff you taught us, but my kid remembers that. And he's chew. Because pains in the gut are so common that if we treat our gut brain well, our head brain says, hey, thank you. Good. Okay, so smart snacking. Next, supplements. We're going to talk about science-based supplements. So I'm going to work you through in a minute how you choose any supplement. Things you look for in choosing a smart supplement. Next, seafood. You all know that. Here in Oregon, #1 brain food, salmon. Wow. There is no other better brain food than salmon. We're going to show you why in a minute. And finally, and the next, smoothies. The shake a day helps keep the doctor away. All right, how many here start their day with a Juice Plus smoothie? Oh, wow. Good for you. Okay, now I'm going to go real quickly through all. That's our 5S diet. We use that diet for brain health and gut health. We use it for inflammation health, like itis illnesses. We use it for heart health. So, basically whatever you have. Now, it's naturally to be a little skeptical that food can have such an effect on the brain. I'd like you to meet Oliver. Oliver is a 7-year-old boy who was so fidgety and had such high doses of ADHD, he could not sit still and write. He was so fidgety. His brain was so cluttered. 1 month after the brain food diet. Notice the difference in his handwriting. Published in the #1 medical pediatric journal. And what was the big dose of the brain food? The omega-3 fats in salmon. Hey, he had a fathead problem. We gave him the right fat. Okay? So this was an example that showed the school teachers that maybe we need to get the junk out of school and start putting smart foods in there. And I would tell the school teachers, you feed the children junk foods in the morning, and you get bad behavior and learning. As simple as that. So it was studies like this that made the point that maybe we should rethink how we feed our children. Bingo. All right. Okay, so this is all right. This is a diagram from our newest book in China. It's called "Raising a Smarter Child" for the Chinese audience. And I was invited over to China a few years ago to give a talk invited by the China Nutrition Society. And the reason was the Chinese are eating like Americans and getting sick, fat, and tired like us. So the government said, we got to do something, come on over and give a talk. So at the end of one of the talks, one of the real nice, you know how polite the Asians are, said, Dr. Sears, why do Americans eat so much, so fast? I said, yeah, she's right. Why do we eat so much, so fast? So I said, aha, I got the answer. So I developed in our office a tool. And I said this to the, so I said to her, I said, you know what, that's a good idea. I think I'll go home and try to pass a law outlawing forks. And everybody has to use chopsticks. I was kind of kidding, but I thought, you know, not a bad idea. When you use chopsticks, picking up that blueberry at a time, it slows you down. You enjoy eating more. You more enjoy eating. Right? Now, if you still can't slow down, you use the non-dominant hand. And that really will, and talk about building brain cells. So, you know, try that. You know, if you ladies, if you're married to, say, George the Gorger, you know, men tend to do that. We tend to hide the forks, put chopsticks down. Enjoy taking time to dine. Just take more time to dine, and chopsticks is a way to do it. All right, now, so that basically, this was from the Japanese book, because they said we're having problems over here. A Chinese book. Well, please make it impactful, because we have McStickies over here too in China. So that's actually one of the most impactful diagrams in the whole book, that the Chinese parents, because they're very into intellectual development, and they said, oh my goodness, we never thought of that. Thank you. Bingo. Would you like a neurologist with that? Okay, thank you. Okay. All right, now, babies, feeding baby brains. And we got a little baby there, over there. There's one baby in the crowd. All right, now, grandparents and parents. The brain grows fastest in the last 3 months of pregnancy. I'm giving a talk tomorrow on that at the Bellies, Birthing, and Babies Conference, something like that. And, you know, say a little prayer for me, because a man talking to all women about childbirth and pregnancy is very risky. And as I'm walking out of the house, my dear wife, who usually does it with me, she says, now, no dumb male jokes, please. Like the time when we were giving a talk about exercise, and one of the ladies says, what's Martha's favorite exercise? And I said, childbirth. Dumb male joke. Anyway, so tomorrow we're going to talk about baby feeding the baby brains inside. But the first 3 months, the first 2 years, the baby's brain doubles in size. By 3, it triples in size. You're growing a little fat head. Bingo. So now we feed these babies a lot different than we used to. Remember the old days of rice cereal? What is missing in rice cereal? Fat. Nothing. You don't feed babies out of a box. Please, moms and grandparents, skip the boxes. Feed outside the box. Okay, now, so here's what we do now. Gone is rice cereal. First food, avocado. Top fruit. Why is avocado so good? Fat. Wow. There's no other fruit on the planet that has more food than avocado. More nerve. Then at 7 months, we start salmon. Salmon at 7 months. And now, what is the #1 problem children have of food problems? They don't like veggies. I hear that every day in my office. My child won't eat veggies. So here's what we do. And I'm going to have little Ezra and Kirsten come up. Oh, he's sleeping. Okay, we're going to, all right. Now, here's what we do. Yeah, would you? Now we call this sprinkle. All right, come on over. All right, now, Kirsten, is it Ezra? I love it. Okay, he's sleeping, so we won't wake him up. Let sleeping babies lie. Now, so what we do, pretend that they're in my office and he's 6 to 7 months. And we have what we call the Shaping Young Taste Talk. Shape Young Taste. 3 magic words in baby feeding. So I have mom put out her hand, and I take a sprinkle. This is a Juice Plus veggie. It's ground up concentrates of 10 different veggies. So I sprinkle them on mom's hand. You know, all sprinkles. And he's sleeping, so we're not going to do that. He's a little young for it. And then I'll have the baby lick this from mommy, and they get kind of a green face and all that. They lick it, and they smile, and they go back for more. And that little palm of sprinkles, if you can all see that, that's gone in a couple minutes. These babies like it. This is how we introduce veggies, shaping young tastes. Small amounts of 10 different ones, and they like it. And I'm going to explain now what's going on when that happens. So, if he were awake, he would put his tongue on the veggies. And the tongue has a lot of what we call receptors on them, nerves, taste buds. And the taste buds, wow, send a text message to the brain. The brain, fathead, says, antioxidants down their tongue. The brain registers like. Then the brain, the head brain, sends a text message down to the gut brain, to the microbiome, that says, hey, gut brain, you got good stuff coming down there. Like it, because we like it up here. And so you have this Facebook friends of tongue, head brain, gut brain, going on in this little baby. And pretty soon, that center of the brain, shape young taste, says, like veggies. You follow me on that? That's why we start these early in babies, because shaping young tastes. Thank you, Kristen. Thank you. You can eat that. Sorry, but this is medicine now. Now, maybe a little different than when you all had your babies in it, right? I see that's different because we didn't know the difference then. Now we know. The earlier you start, and I did a little experiment. I can say this in practice here because none of you are my patients. I use my practice as a laboratory to find out what works and what doesn't. And when I started doing this, the sprinkles test, almost every mom would come in. A child was 1 or 2 years of age, loves veggies. And they go from I like a little to like a lot to crave, because you shape their taste at the very time of the brain development when it was most shapeable. So this is why we do it so early. And we don't feed them anything out of the box, please. Just real foods. Okay? Thank you. Okay. Smart foods. Seafood, salmon, seafood, blueberries called the brainberry, greens and nuts. Easy way to remember that? Go fish, go blue, go green, and go nuts. I'm going to add one more now. And what made me want to add it is I had, just what I had to eat right before the talk. I kind of went and hid in the men's room. And guess what? Think about a good brain food right before a talk that will keep you full, but not too full. I had an egg. Good way to remember eggs? Egg head. When Elena said this was a farm fresh, free range egg.
Organic fed.
And I could tell it because when you can tell the more the chicken feeds outside, the yellower and oranger, is that a real word, oranger? the yolk. The yolk is darker, richer. Wow. Okay. Brain food. Brain food. No. Good. Okay. McKinney, age 7, came up to me after the Vigiland talk in Nashville. Dr. Sears, I will always remember the brainberry. Kids love it. Kids love it. You know, like that little brain, the little blueberries, the brainberry. Right. Next. Okay. Any teenagers here? Anybody have teenagers? Oh ho! Wow. You're in recovery then, huh? Great grandchildren. All right. Now, here's, you got a good football team up here, right? Or the Ducks. The Ducks are gonna make it this year? Okay. All right. Now, I was voting for the quarterback. The Ducks, I can't remember his name. He went. Yeah. Okay. Now, guess what the best football colleges now have? They have what they call high-performance dining rooms. And they made a study, and they showed that the ones who have the high-performance dining were rated higher in the FBSs. Makes sense. The better food you put in your mouth and the brain, the better you think in the classroom, the better you perform in the field. So now, for a scholarship student, I prepare them for this. My teenagers, when they're going off to college, because they're getting off to college, mom's not there, and they can go into the sticky stuff cafeteria, eat all they want. But when they're in scholarship now, first day of school, they're getting to go to the cafeteria, and the coach says, hey, scholarship guy, or girl, over here, this is where you eat. Oh man, sounds like my mother. But coach, I don't like smoothies, I don't like salmon, I don't like salad bars. It's like, son, you're on scholarship. You will eat what we tell you to eat. This is actually going on in colleges. Finally, now my wish is it would filter down to high schools and grade schools. Bingo, and it will if parents make it happen. Okay? So please get high-performance dining rooms is what it's called. This is a real picture from Stanford University high-performance dining room. And notice what it is, that big fillet of salmon. Okay, now, basically teen brains, to show you what's really going on so you understand the beautiful teen brains. We adults, when we reach adulthood, and some takes a little longer than others, guilty, we have two centers in our brain. Let's use a car analogy. We have the accelerator, novel thinking, excitement, take chances, take risks, enjoy. But we also have the brakes that say don't do dumb things, not too fast, keep in control, and is there balance? It's teen brain, the accelerator center is bigger than the brakes. Simple as that. And it catches up around age 24. So those of you who put their hands up, they will get better. That's all part of the brain. They will get better, but that's why they're so exciting. That's why they're into new things and technology. Their accelerator center is so big and growing, but it does even out. Okay, next. Okay, real quickly, seafood, Pacific salmon. Wow, can't get it any better. Now, you guys are smart here in Oregon, but I'm going to see how smart you are. Why are salmon pink? Anybody know? Pink salmon. Why are salmon pink? What is it about?
They eat shrimp.
Because go fishing sometime. Salmon come in from the ocean, and they're not that pink. And they stop by their friendly neighborhood Dr. Mother Nature's office. And Dr. Mother Nature says, man, you are going on the longest marathon swim of your life. He doesn't say it's going to be the last swim. But anyway, and you're going to swim uphill for 4 miles. You ever try to run uphill for 4 miles? You'd have itis everywhere, inflammation, you'd hurt. So, Dr. Mother Nature infuses into the salmon a pink pigment called astaxanthin, nature's most powerful antioxidant. Remember, antioxidant, keeping your muscles, your brain from oxidizing or rusting. That's why salmon are pink. And that's why wild salmon are so important, because the farm salmon, they're pink, but maybe they stopped by and picked up a synthetic pill and not Dr. Mother Nature's. So it is worth the extra $3 or $4 a pound, which is what it is in our area. I heard something today on the way over. Elena was telling me, $5 a pound for wild salmon? Wow! It's $18 in many places. So good for you, wild salmon. But that's why salmon are pink. Nature's brain antioxidant. So you've got the omega-3 oils. The top brain food is omega-3 oils because they're fat. The top fat in the brain, the smartest fat in the brain is the top fat in salmon. As simple as that. Plus the antioxidants, the other double whammy. Okay, next. Smoothies? A shake a day. I got in the habit of that when I was recovering from cancer, pains in the gut. I still now, when Elena picked me up at the airport, she brought a blender. This is the first time. She brought a blender and a whole bunch of fruits and veggies, and I'm carrying into my hotel room this blender that I'll have tomorrow morning of my victory smoothie. So the smoothie, what a way to eat. Now, don't have time to go into that. If you want to have a fabulous change, we call it a transformation of your gut, go to our website called the Sipping Solution. And it's basically sipping on a smoothie all day long. Mine has 13 ingredients. Delicious. So, smoothies. All right, next, smoothies, salads with spices. Talked about that. Next. Smart snacks, chopsticks, seeds and nuts, rule of twos. We talked about that. Finally, now, supplements. As I'm giving this talk in my office now, so no matter what illness you come in with, I give them the first 4. I can't think of an illness that the first 4 would not be good for. And then I have a big sign in my office that says, now, Joe, I want you to promise me you're going to eat 10 fistfuls. Hold up your fist. If it's a big fist, big platefuls. If it's a small fist, then small. You got to eat 10 fistfuls of fruits and vegetables every day. Oh, Dr. Bill, that's a lie. I don't know about that. I said, okay, you're honest. You can't. Most of us can't. Let's have a show of fists. All right? How many eat 10 fistfuls of fruits and vegetables every day? 10 fistfuls. Now, if you don't in Oregon, you can imagine the rest of the country. But that's what we need for brain health, heart health, gut health, joint health, skin health, eye health especially. You need 10 fistfuls of fruits and vegetables every day. And that's why we've added the only fruit and vegetable supplement that has any science behind it. Juice Plus, which is just ground up fruits and vegetables like we did with the sprinkles for little baby Ezra. Now, supplement 101, any supplement, and this is doctor talk. Suppose you went to your local hospital and sneaked under a table in the doctor's dining room. You may hear something like this. Oh man, my patients are coming in with these bags full of supplements and they don't do anything. They go in the top end, they come out the bottom end, they never get in the bloodstream. Because there's no science behind them. Show me the science. So before you put anything in your mouth, today's with smartphones, that you can take a smartphone and just go right over the new thing is where you can go right over the label, take you to the website. It says there is 25 university studies showing. You want to show two things. Have they given people the supplement, then drawn blood from that person to see if it gets into the blood in the first place? Or does it go right through? Bingo. Then, secondly, once they measure the blood, and it's in the blood, does it do good things for the body? Does it make the blood flow better? Does it cause less inflammation? Does it keep the arteries from quivering and get them, larger the arteries, the better the blood flow, that type of thing. All these measurements. If it's yes, it gets into the bloodstream, and yes, it does good things for the body, then you want to take it. If it doesn't, just don't take it. Okay? Spend your money on the ones who have good science behind them. And that's why the only nutritional supplement I take is Juice Plus, because I have trouble eating 10 fistfuls of fruits and vegetables every day. And so, now, if you want to learn more about salmon, omega-3s, and what's called the omega-3 blend, which is coming out soon with the Juice Plus, so that's going to be fabulous, Juice Plus, the capsules plus the blend. We have a whole book on the omega-3 effect. And that will talk about how much for all ages. Okay, next. Then the smoothies. The next. Salads. Now, how many here have a tower garden, which is over here? Wow. So keep your hands up a bit. All right. My wish for you. Those of you who don't have a tower garden, talk to the people who do have one and have their hands up. Talk about delicious, nutritious, homegrown fruit and veggies. There isn't a better piece of lettuce, a better berry, a better tomato. Talk about cherry tomatoes, it tastes like that. Wow. You want to get your kids to eat it, eat stuff like that? Have them grow it. And guess where the Tower Garden was developed and invented? Disney World, Epcot Center. The new technology where you just put water, fertilizer, and it grows that beautiful, delicious fruit. So my wish is every school, every classroom, every apartment, balcony, every backyard will eventually have a tower garden, unless you live on a farm and have your own. Okay? But tower gardens are wonderful. All right, next. All right, why is snacking so good? Real quick, George the Gorger. Now, this is important because remember, we need to slow down our eating. When George doesn't snack, he puts too much food in his mouth too fast, and the sticky stuff goes up. This is called sticky stuff spikes, giving you inflammation of the brain, the heart, the gut, and the joints. Gracie the Grazer, smaller amount, chopsticks, smaller plates, smaller meals, 5 mini meals a day instead of 3 big ones. No sticky stuff, happy brain, happy heart, happy gut, happy joints. That's a long story short. But that's the difference between grazing and gorging. That's my wish for you, that you all become grazers. Next, okay, now, that's for the South. We'll flip that. All right. I love it. Give talks down south, and they have all these little phrases, bless your heart. That's when the ladies, the Southern ladies are good at this, when they, their husband's being a jerk, and they say, Bill, like Martha does this. Bill, you're being a jerk, bless your heart. Kind of calms the brain. I love that. Anyway, this is the goal. 10 fistfuls of fruits and veggies every day. And if you don't, then you fill in the gap with supplements, which are just that, to supplement what you can't get. Next, all right, now, the only one that has solid science behind it, the most scientifically researched fruit and vegetable supplement on the planet, It's also the only supplement I presently take. I hope I can say that for many, many years. Now, why? Basically, this is important. There's a nutritional word called synergy. That's why salads are good for you and smoothies are good for you. Synergy means when you take a small amount of a whole lot of fruits and vegetables and concentrate them and eat them, they all work better. It's like a symphony orchestra. You put 100 players together and they all play in synchrony. It's beautiful music, which is what we call health. Much prettier than one or two. Okay? So this is the value of fruits and vegetables in all ground up and eating together. And this is why it's the only supplement that I personally take. Now next. All right, now, next day, now, basically, to wind down now, I'm going to go through 30 tests, 30 scientific tests in 30 seconds. Now, remember, any supplement 101, you want to show me the science. So basically, if I were talking to doctors, I would say, Juice Plus delivers antioxidants, phytonutrients, reduces oxidative stress, biomarkers of systemic inflammation, and, this is the big one, lessens the impairment of flow-mediated brachial artery vasoactivity and lessens homocysteine, sticky stuff. All right, now, here's the pediatrician's version. It keeps sticky stuff off the tops of your medicine bottles. It keeps sticky stuff off your blood cells. Your arteries are more relaxed. It's like, say, cool it, man. Widen, open up, and let more blood flow. And the better the blood flow, the better the organs. And that's what fruits and vegetables and fruit and vegetable supplements do. And that's why Dr. Mom said, eat more fruits and veggies. Okay? That's as simple as that. So that is just science made simple for all of you. There you go. All right, now, I just put this. This is our page out of our newest book coming out in November, our Transform 5 Brain Health Plan, in a nutshell, where we say to my patients, I say, you hold the key to your health in the palm of your hand. You hold the key to your brain health in the palm of your hand. That's it. As simple as that. It's a summary of all the things we talked about tonight. All right, and now, basically, to end, I want to end with a little bit of a charity. Because rumor has it that you all are very much into doing good. You know, that helper's high, you feel good by doing good. So I just want to mention this. If any of you have a friend or loved one who has a child in the hospital, you go to this website, the website called Help Your Child, let's go back to it, Danny. A website called helpyourchildheal.org, helpyourchildheal.org. You contribute $15, and all that $15 goes to the largest children's charity in the world, Children's Miracle Network. You press a button and download an 85-page booklet that you can give to your friend. Here's how you can help your child heal in the hospital. There you go. Next, Dr. Smoothie. The whole book is simple like that. Kids love it. A nice gift for you all to give to a friend or loved one. And Dr. Salad goes to the hospital, and this is what the website looks like. You just press a button and get your copy. All right, to wind down, so you've been a wonderful, wonderful, this is my take-home prescription for you for the brain health. Move more, eat less, give more, get less, smile more, stress less, and meditate more, agitate less. So you've been a wonderful audience, and I wish you all a very, very long brain span.